Today we're going to talk about the North Carolina First Grade Standard NBT 7. Read and write numerals and represent a number of objects with a written numeral to 100. When working with place value in first grade, students will have many opportunities to build 10 sticks with pop cubes. When students easily recognize 10 as one unit, you can use pop cube 10 sticks and pop cube singles to address this standard. Let's look at one task that will address this standard. Give the student a set of objects and ask to count how many. The student will easily recognize, if they have had many opportunities with the pop cube 10 sticks, that this is a group of 10 and I do not need to count by ones, I can count by tens. So the student will then count 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. Then ask the student to represent the amount of objects with the written numeral. If needed at the beginning, some students may need a 100 chart for reference in order to write the numeral, but the goal is to move away that support as needed. So the student will then write 54 to represent the number of objects. Another task to represent this standard is to show a numeral tile. Don't say the numeral, just ask the student, can you represent that many with pop cubes? And then the student will use the pop cube 10 sticks, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68. And notice how this is set up like an invisible 10 frame with 5 on the top and 3 on the bottom to represent 68. The next level will be just to actually say a numeral and ask the student to write it and then represent. So you may say, write the number 92, and then ask the student to represent that with pop cubes and the 10 sticks. Base 10 blocks are introduced in second grade. However, if you have a student or group of students who have a solid understanding of 10 as one unit, meaning that these students have had multiple experiences with malleable objects, pop cubes that can be broken apart and put back together so they understand composing and decomposing of 10, you may wish to introduce base 10 blocks next. Again, students need to have a solid understanding that I can take this apart, but I can also represent this as one group of 10 and this is 10. So in order to make the transition to using this fixable model, allow time for students to actually compare the two models where they can see, okay, these are the same because they both represent 10. I have 10 here and I can count these 10 here. The difference is with the pop cube 10 sticks, I can break them apart and put them back together, but with this model, it's fixed and it cannot be changed. So take the time to allow them to see how they're alike and different, and that this is a group of 10, but it cannot be broken apart, but I can still use it to count by tens.